Morning to each of you. Maybe others will join us, but let us start our day the Vaishnava way with Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. So we say Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, we say Om Agyantimarandasya, then Namo Mahavaranyaya, and then Panchatattva and Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, so to all of the devotees present and all the devotees, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And to Guru, Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And to Mahaprabhu, Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvijay Namaha. Then Panchatattva Mahamantra Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasa Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. And the Mahamantra Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we've mentioned that we will visit the theme of the Vaishnavas, and in particular what I had in mind. Also Sevarupa Devirasi is there with us on Facebook, and maybe others too, but Sevarupa Devirasi of Mexico there with us on Facebook, and Sevarupa Devirasi of South Africa with us on Zoom. So good to have you with us, Sevarupa Devi in Mexico too. Hare Krishna. Asking for blessings. Well, the blessings are upstairs. So may Gurudev is blessing you and all of your family, no doubt. Hare Krishna. Indeed. So, and Kumkum Didi just joined us too. So Kumkum and Radha Sundari Devirasi also. Dandavat to both of you, to each of you. Dandavat. Maybe Amiya Sindhu Prabhu's nearby to Radha Sundari too. Here's Kumkum live, moving. She's in the ashram, San Jose ashram. And Radha Sundari in Mayapur. All right. So, dear devotees, my thought was last week, but my thought again this week. Oh, here's a hand first. Okay, never mind my thoughts. Let's see. By the way, this is a very unique picture of every picture is unique in its own way, no doubt. Let me just see if I can make it bigger on my screen. Oh, I understand where the picture's from. Okay, this is a picture of Navadip Dham behind Praneshwari, and taken definitely during festival time with colored lights all over the front of the temple of Guru Maharaj. I wonder which festival it is.
It was Christmas time. It was December 2012.
Okay, Christmas time, but the lights won't be for Christmas. It was probably...
they were chosen green and red because of Christmas.
Oh, were they? Okay, there we go.
Suggestion of the Western devotees.
All right, so now we get some history behind it too. And normally the lights will be put up for, something for the Vyasa Puja, which is also around Christmas time. As we know, this year, 21st of December is Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj's Śrī Vyasa Puja this year. Yes, so a hand came up from you.
Yes, Maharaj. Before we start with the theme, you mentioned about the song of Vaishnava Thakur. But before we start with the theme, there is a question on Facebook. It says, honestly speaking, my whole suffering is due to pursuit of pleasure. how to overcome this?
This is the realization of great saints as well as of us in this world at the moment, amongst whom may be some great saints. We're not going to eliminate that at all, that option at all. We never know who we are with, as Gurudev did say. But so this is a very good realization to understand this. And in Śrī Prabhupada Jivanamritam, there is that verse that says, oh, about how we know that the source of pleasure, the source of suffering is pleasure seeking on our side, but still we can't give up, even though our intelligence tells us this. So this is, I forget which chapter, but it is right there where it's, and I think it's in the chapter about humility, surrender in humility. I believe it's that chapter where with absolute humility, we're coming to understand that actually only by coming to surrender to Krishna, who is the master of the senses, Rishikesh, who is the actually be all and end all, the real attractor of our senses, and not all the senses of this body, which basically we come to Upadesh Amritam, the urge to speak, the mind's demands and anger, the tongue, the belly, the genitals. And then, of course, the other senses means the eye searching for beauty, the ear for sweet sound, etc., etc. So everything really has its residence in Krishna. We know it, we read about it, but still we understand that here we are in the material world and we are subject to be pulled this direction and that direction. And why? Because we are jiva souls, we're tiny particles of life. We are not strongly established in the ocean of nectar. We are aspiring for the ocean of nectar. We're looking up to that. But we are within the ocean where the tides, and tides are very strong. We can think wind is strong, and indeed it can be. But tides in the sea, they carry people, carry boats, carry ships forcefully one direction or another direction. However, the solution comes to responsible seva, if we can possibly be engaged in responsible seva. So our mind is captured by something, we have to always give attention to doing that activity. If we can get responsible seva, this is very good for us. And the best thing for us, of course, always is sadhu sangha, the association of the devotees. And so coming to the temple, being with the devotees in the temple, chanting, dancing, taking prasadam, some of the basics like this. But they're not only basics, it's the very life of a devotee. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, which I hope every devotee can appreciate, read daily, from beginning to end. I mean, in a very methodical way through Chaitanya Charitamrita. You see what's taking place throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, chanting and dancing. Even Mahaprabhu appears. When he appears, everyone's chanting and chanting. And Haridas Thakur and Advaita Acharya, who are not even exactly where Mahaprabhu's appearing, or that time Nimai Pandit is, or Nimai Sundar, as he will be, Nimai, then they're not exactly the same place. They're in Shantipur, which is down the road quite a way. But they know something's very auspicious is happening, and they are spontaneously chanting and dancing. So from the very beginning, all the way through to Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Puri, finally, the pastimes of separation, there we also see the chanting and dancing. So it's a common problem, and we need to always be careful to use our intelligence as much as possible to control our mind to control our senses, and to give our intelligence good food by hearing about the pastimes of Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, the 9 processes of devotional service. And we can say the stress of all was that, yes, the holy name, but service. Gurudev was very much service-oriented for the devotees. Guru Maharaj very much service-oriented for the devotees. We know Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was, Srila Prabhupada was. Seva, seva, seva. Don't think that seva, that service is depleting your life. It is life-giving, but the positive life-giving. And Prashadam Seva. There is a song, very happy song, Sharira Avidya Jam Darindriya Taheka. What is this song telling us? It's telling us that it's our desire to enjoy that's brought us into this world. And out of all the senses, the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. And so, but the Lord is very kind. He's giving us Mahaprashadam. He's giving us his remnants, and in order to control the tongue. And when the tongue is controlled, practically the whole is controlled. Everything is controlled. So the most fundamental necessity is the tongue in this world. It's always talking nonsense, eating nonsense, wanting to talk and eat, taste, all these things, different things. But if we can capture the tongue in Krishna's seva, then the rest of the senses, the belly, the genitals, and the mind and everything else, the mind and anger, everything else will become under control. So that song is saying, so we're very grateful. Thank you, Krishna, for giving us your Mahaprashadam, the remnants of your food, in order to control the tongue. And while we honor Prashadam, then we shall chant the glories of Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Gunagai and Preme Dako Chaitanya Nitai. With joy call out Chaitanya Nitai. So Prashadam is important, and association, which we can come to quite soon, which means avoiding the 6 unfavorable things, doing the 6 favorable things. We want to make our life focused on our goal, serious on our goal. And sometimes we hear the example of the sportsman, somebody who's very ambitious to be the fastest runner, whatever sport, the fastest runner, swimmer, high jump, I mean, whatever sport you want to say, the top sportsman in any field, they really have to give full dedication to what they're going to do. Otherwise, they'll be maybe second best, maybe third best, according to how much non-exclusive they are. But they will regulate their diet, they'll regulate their association, regulate their sleeping. And they'll be very focused and determined. So we also need to be focused and determined by heart. We're not doing austerity in the mode of ignorance or passion, or even goodness ultimately. It's for Krishna, it's for our natural home comfort. But it is the understanding of so many great souls. Yes, we're here, we are aspiring for that pure high world, but still we get caught in this material desire for sense gratification. In many ways, grossly, subtly also. and we have to be realistic. But when sometimes every devotee's got some realization, otherwise why are we trying to be better devotees or trying to really be a devotee? Every devotee's got some realization, and those moments of little bit of clarity, then that helps us to also go forward. About alcoholics, right? They used to have some expression that, there was some expression about they have a moment of clarity or something when they realize they've got to stop being an alcoholic. Who is an alcoholic and can tell me what the expression is? We do have devotees who are alcoholics. We have one devotee. There is some, in Navadip, there is a very great treat, you can say, that Krishna provides. And it's during the cold time, actually, about maybe January or February. And it's the sap, it's the sap of the palm tree, and it's very sweet. And the man goes up the tree, and they cut slots in the tree, and then it's collected in a clay pot, which is tied there. And then early in the morning, it's quite cold. The man comes along the street calling out that he's got this ras, what they call ras. Anyway, it's a treat that the devotees do engage in Navadip, and Gurudev himself also. But one devotee jokingly said, "Oh, this is like alcohol." And then another devotee said, "Oh no, I can't. Then I can't take at all. Even the slightest bit of alcohol may put me back on the, to be an alcoholic again," which I was quite surprised. But it's not alcoholic, I can say that. First of all, it's not alcoholic. But when I saw the reaction of the devotee, like he had been an alcoholic, and he was so cautious not to take the slightest bit of alcohol that could just turn, like tip him into again being an alcoholic. And that's like our relationship with the material world. We really, once we can get some like moment of clarity, as the alcoholics say, then they become, oh yes, now I see what a nice life it is without alcohol. What a different category of life. It's so bright. So the devotees also, some clarity must come now and again. Then we understand, what the possibility of the clean life of devotional service, the clean life of not just devotional service, but of the no attachment in this world whatsoever. And then put the plus side in, that is the beautiful life of devotion in Goloka Vrindavan. So we are trying. This is our situation. And our situation, which is especially important, is that we are all applying in the department of mercy. So we know we are faulty, and when we think we're not faulty, a very dangerous position to be in. Because Krishna knows everything, and Krishna tolerates no pride in his devotees, as Gurudev would say, and not only Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. I'm sure that someone can pick up that quote somewhere, but it tolerates no pride in his devotees. And I remember some different examples being given by Guru Maharaj in that respect too. So we must become prideless, only identity that we are aspiring to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. But a practical question, that is practical. And practical way, prasadam, association, service, the holy name, take shelter in the holy name. And Guru Maharaj also told, when strong material desire comes and we can call out the names of the Vaishnavas, we can call out the name of a Vaishnava or the names of Vaishnavas, that the Vaishnavas will protect us. but we are in the land of mercy. We know we're faulty. That's why we're very happy to know about Nityananda and Gauranga. Very happy to know about the avatar, the incarnation, though this Chatu Yuga, this time around, this is the avatari of Gauranga. Even more to add to the necessity of us grabbing the moment, taking this, realizing that this time is the best time throughout the whole of the day of Lord Brahma, which adds up to quite a few years in our calculation. 4,320,000,000, something like this. Anyway, it's way more. Once you get up to a million, after that, that's a lot of years, isn't it? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
And follow the sadhana, this daily practice, wherever we are, whether we live in a straw hut, whether we live in a penthouse in Manhattan, wherever we live. None of you are living in a penthouse in Manhattan. No. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, Bhagavan Prabhu joined us. Divya Shakti Devi Dasi joined us. Devotees quietly joining us while we're chatting away here. And actually, today, that I did have in mind, that a song that we sing every day practically, but we, again, one of these things, we just want to not only sing a song every day, we want to catch the meaning of the song. So, oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, I thought last week, let's go through this song because it is so wonderful. And we sing it so often, and we should, as Gurudev says, not just sing into the air, just make a sound into the air. We want to sing with heart. We want to know what we're singing. So maybe what I'll do is put in the chat box.
The song is in the chat box, Maharaj.
The song is in the chat box. I'm very efficient. Everyone, honestly speaking, my whole suffering is due to pursuit of pleasure. How to overcome this? And association. Come and live in the temple. When you live in the temple, then you have to get up and attend the program, be with devotees. Yes, live in the temple. That's the best solution. And in the temple, live in the dormitory. Yeah, good solution. All right, and here we have Pranashri Devi, Śrī Vaiṣṇava-mahimā. Śrī Vaiṣṇava-mahimā. Acha, my goodness, writing a little small here. All right. And I saw there's another message. Sevarupa Devrasi. Shri Nitai Chaitanya Ju appearance today at Purida. Oh my goodness. You're trying to divert us from our Vaishnava. Okay, we're going to go through Vaishnava Pranam. But time nor tide waits for no man. But yes, thank you very much, Sevarupa Devrasi. In America, it's tomorrow. And on our side of the world, then it is indeed today. Shri Nitai Chaitanya Ju appearance day at Puridam. Thank you for the reminder. And okay, just before we come to the Vaishnavas, in honor of Shri Nitai Chaitanya Day, then I can say that this is one of course, well, one of many, I suppose, but I mean, it's one of our best days in our life days, being in Jagannath Puri for this festival, for the day when our deities did appear and were installed on the altar, installed in the sweet temple in Jagannath Puri, with Srila Gurudev, with the devotees, festival of, what were we doing? Oh yes, chanting and dancing. Chanting and dancing. And welcoming Nitai Chaitanya Dev. And that temple, when there's some kirtan going on, it's acoustically like a trumpet, trumpet. You just got a little sound of the lips making I won't make the sound, but whatever the sound the lips make when you blow into the trumpet, but the trumpet somehow magnifies it. So this temple in Jagannath Puri is like a trumpet of the holy names when the holy names are chanted. So I can simply say Nitai Chaitanya Dev appeared in Navadip Dham by the grace of Gurudev and of Guru Maharaj. Gurudev doing everything under the guidance of Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj, he gave the direction for Jagannath Puri, for establishing a mat in Jagannath Puri and in Govardhan and in Calcutta in particular. But Nitai Chaitanya Dev, then the temple there is coming by the grace of Guru Maharaj, but by the grace of Gurudev. It's in the time of Srila Gurudev that the deities manifested there. And Nitai Chaitanya, briefly to say that Gurudev, when he's talking and discussing what deities will be there in Puri, then Gurudev saying that in Puri, there must be somewhere where Nitai and Gauranga, where they are worshipped together. He said there are temples of Gauranga and temples of Jagannath very famously, but he is trying to think of where is Nitai and Gauranga being worshipped. And then Gurudev always considering everything, considering when there's going to be manifestation of deities and temple, etc. And then he's considering. So where our temple is, it is on the way from the Jagannath temple to the ocean. And Mahaprabhu, Gurudev said, Mahaprabhu must have passed by here on so many occasions, just near Chatak Parvat. And Nityananda would come from Navadip to be with Mahaprabhu. So during here in particular, we must know that Nitai and Chaitanya have their Leela. So Nitai, Chaitanya Dev, deities will be here. So that is very briefly the manifestation of Nitai, Chaitanya Dev, and Gurudev wrote an Arati, especially for them, Nitashi, I think it's called Shri Nitai Chaitanya Arati. And so also very beautiful. Okay, Jai Shri Nitai Chaitanya Dev Ki Jai. Now I'm going to come to the Vaishnava part. But thank you for that reminder. And here we do have, in the chat box, we do have Vaishnava Ati. Not Vaishnava Ati, the Vaisṇava-mahimā-gīti by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And, okay, so also what I would like to put in the box is, click, click, click. I'm going to also put in the box the word for this, because this is very helpful. It's very helpful for me, and therefore I think it may be helpful for others too. We want to share things that we find helpful for following the arti. I mean, so that we can, following the song, so we can see. All right, so time is rushing by. However, I think we all know this song, O He Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori, Diya Pada Chaya, Shod Ho He Amaya, Tomara Charana Dhari. So let somebody else go through the word by word, because I've been chatting away and we want everything to be interactive. Who will go through word by word? Paramananda Prabhu. He's sitting quietly. Paramananda, can we invite you to go through the word by word and just...
Maharaj, let me see just a moment.
Okay.
Where
and
is
help transmit us It's in the chat box. Says, oh, hey, Vaishnava, the last chat in the chat box.
I'm not seeing it, Maharaj. It's certainly not there.
Oh, tell you what, maybe, oh yes, I can share the screen. Okay. I'll put it on the screen, Prabhu. Then you will be able to see. Portion of the screen. Share, click. Oh, there you are. That's not Vaishnava Thakur. Here it is. And because some of you are using...
But you may need to make it a little smaller, Maharaj.
Little smaller. Okay. Now, sorry about that.
Oh, I see. Now I can see.
Wait. Not quite ready. Must be now. Now is nicely visible or not?
Yes,
Maharaj. A little bit smaller, Maharaj.
Make it smaller.
Yeah.
But it is visible, Maharaj. No. Just before that was very nice.
Okay. Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, Doyara Sagar. Yes, oh, sorry. Over to you, Paramananda.
Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakur. Oh, venerable Vaishnava. Doyara Sagara, oh, ocean of mercy. Doyara is mercy. Sagara is ocean. Oh, ocean of mercy. Aida say, to me, your servant, Karuna Kori, be merciful. Diyapada Chaya, giving the shade of your lotus feet. Soda he amaya. Oh, purify me. Tomara Charana Dori. Tomara Charana, your feet. Dori, I humbly hold to. And then the second, so that we know. O he Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Eda Se Karuna Kori. Diyapada Chaya Sada he amaya Tomara Charana Dori. Then Chaya Vega, the 6 urges. So we're just speaking of the 6 urges. Domi, to control. Chaya Vega Domi. Chaya Dosha Shodhi, 6 folds. Please purify me from that. Shodhi is to purify. So Chaya Vega and Chaya Dosha, 6 urges and 6 folds. And Rupa Goswami's Vacha Vegam, dos Vegas, Vacha Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Uddaraprastha Vegam, Etam Vegam, Yavisha Heta Dhyara. So those are the 6 urges. And then the folds. And the folds would be, what is it, Maharaj? What do you think? There are several. There's a Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Abhimana. That's one.
Oh.
Those folds, I think.
Okay, yes.
And Chaya Guna, these 6 good qualities. Deho Dasi. So please give it to me. Deho means please. Give it to your servant. Please give it to your servant. Chaya Shatchanga. 6 kinds of holy association. Deho he amare. Oh, give me. Bosechi Sangera Ase. Usually, Vaishnavas do not ask for anything. Devotees don't have the tendency to ask or beg for anything, but this kind of thing we can beg forever for. Really, these are life-saving. So, Chaya Vega Domi, Chaya Dosha Shodhi, Chaya Gune Deho Dasi, Chaya Satsanga Deho He Amara Bosechi Sangera Ase. Then the verse 3, Ekaki. Alone, Amara, I am alone. Nahi Payabala. No strength, Harinama Sankirtane, to chant the holy name of the Lord Krishna. To me, you, Kripa Kori, being merciful. Shraddha Bindu, a particle of faith or a drop of faith, Shraddha Bindu. Diya, bestow. And then Maharaj is blocking Shraddha Bindu Diya. What's the last, Maharaj? What's after Diya?
Deho.
Deho.
Deho, yeah, Deho, please. Deho again, please. Give Harinama Dane, the greatest treasure of the holy name of Krishna. So I have no strength to chant the holy name. I have no qualification. So, but please be merciful. Give me that strength. Give me the qualification to chant the holy name. So
now,
where are we? 4.
Well, I'm trying to make it so that you can see number 4. Yes. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Krishna say,
that Krishna, Tomara, is yours. Krishna Dete Paro, you're able to give Krishna. Tomara Shakati Ache. Actually, Krishna, he is not easily giving himself. But if Vaishnava giving Krishna, and Krishna is wholly belong to the Vaishnava, Krishna cannot but to submit to the will of the devotee. This is actually the most beautiful part in Gaudiya ideals, Gaudiya philosophy. And it's not just a philosophy concocted by some human, it's a beauty, it's reality. So Krishna becomes a slave of his devotee. And the devotee is eternal slave of Krishna, but I mean, not just slave by force. There is a love in between, the love that cannot be measured by us, the prema. We have no clue. Maharaj was speaking, quoting Guru Maharaj the other day, we have no clue. We have no proper understanding what prema is. But devotee who possesses that prema is so wonderful that Krishna becomes a slave of that devotee. Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, Na prema gandasti mekaro. He says that I don't have any Krishna prema. I'm just an imitator. Mahaprabhu is saying, I do not possess Krishna prema. I can only aspire, cry for it. But of course, Krishna is not the one who has Krishna prema. We have to ask a devotee for Krishna prema. So Radharani, she is a storehouse. So here again, we come to the point when a devotee can give us Krishna. There is no doubt about it. So Tomara Shakati, your power, but the power of love, not just some kind of a city. So Ache is, Ami, I. 2, indeed. Kangala, I am wretched. Krishna, Krishna Boli, wretched, sorry. Krishna, Krishna Boli, crying, Krishna, Krishna. Dhai, I ran. Dhai, Tava, Pache, behind you.
Pache.
So Krishna said to Mara, Krishna dete para, Tomara Shakati Achi, Amito Kangala, Krishna, Krishna Boli, Dhai, Tava, Pache, Pache. So crying, running after the Vaishnava, please be merciful. If not you, then who will give me Krishna? I can never obtain Krishna otherwise. Only by your mercy it becomes possible. Is that all, Maharaj?
Do you want more?
Oh, of course, it's difficult to stop.
Okay, so this is all. So perhaps now we can just go through this song, but while we are watching the word by word, so we can feel it. Because these words, all of the, I think every single word here comes up again and again in Chaitanya Charitamrita. They're not like abstruse words. Yes, Praneshri, you put up a hand in this regard. Your microphone, Didi, your microphone.
Maharaj, is because we have Divya Shakti here. And Divya Shakti sings this song with heart.
Ah, okay.
If she sings, we can follow. We can follow the word by word.
If you sing or Madhusudan Maharaj sing, Paramananda Prabhu sing, then maybe, you know.
Okay, I'll give you all a little relief because we're going to say it at the moment.
Okay.
But still, thank you for volunteering, Divya Shakti Devi Dasi. We appreciate you volunteering.
Thank you so much, my Didi.
All right, so we're going to say it because this way we can say and digest. We're going to say slowly. So let us go through this song. First of all, oh, hey. Oh, so let us go through it, but please try to read it on the screen so that you can see what we are saying on each word. Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, Doyara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori, Dia Pad Chaya, Shodho E Amaya, Tomora Charana Dhari. So, oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, Doyara Sagara. And by the way, Sagar, most of you know, Sagar is ocean, and Doya, Chinmoy Dev, who knows what Doya is mercy. So Doyara Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori. And Kori, it comes again and again. It's just the verb to do. So Karuna Kori, Diya Pada Chaya. Pada we get so many places, the feet, and Chaya is the shade. Diya, give. Diya Pada Chaya. Shodho, He Amaya. Tomara Charana Dhari. Okay, just one more time. Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, Doyara Sagara, Edashe Karuna Kori, Diya Pada Chaya, Shodho He Amaya, Tomara Charana Dhari. Holding. Okay. So verse 2. Chaya Vega Domi, Chaya Dosha Shodhi, the same word. We had Shodho, Shodhi, purifying. Chaya Dosha, Kali Dosha, Nide Rajan, this dosha, this fault. And Chaya is 6, Chaya. Chaya Dosha Shodhi, Chaya Guna Deho Dase, Chaya Sat Sangha, Deho He Amare, Boshechi Sangera Ashe. And Ashe comes up all the time in Sri Guru Charana Padma, in many places. Ashe, there's a desire, it is my hope. Boshechi Sangera Ashe, in sitting down, in Sangha, you know Sangha, Sangera Ashe, to have the association in that hope. So just one more time. Chaya Bega Dhomi, Chaya Dosha Shodhi, Chaya Guna Deho Dase, Chaya Satsanga, Deho He Amare, Boshechi Sangera Ashe. Hare Krishna.
6 kind of holy association. Is that referring to Dadati Pratigrikhnati Gukyama Pyati Prichati Bhunteba Jayate Shaiva Rupa Goswamis?
As far as I know, these are all referring to those first verses of the Upadeshamritam. And I think this is given, or it's not given at the bottom of here. It may be at the bottom of let us see. It may be given here. 6 urges, 6 faults. 6 faults of overeating or collecting. Oh yes, so this is the 6 faults. Yes, because this is a PDF, I won't be able to get it to fit in. Okay, let's come back to the text. Okay, because time not I waits for no man. Oh dear. So this is the referring to Upadeshamritam, those that are listed in the first 3 verses or more of Upadeshamritam. Okay, so number 3. Ekaki amara nahi paya bala. And nahi paya bala. Strength. Balaram. So bala. Hari nama sankirtane. Tumi kripa kori. Shraddha bindu diya. Deho, Krishna nama dhane. And dhan we get many times, treasure. Deho, Krishna, so diya. Deho, Krishna nama dhane. Please give Krishna nama treasure. So ekaki amara nahi paya bala. Hari nama sankirtane tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu diya deho Krishna nama dhane. So beautiful. This is all, remember, praying to the Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas have these capacities to give to us. And now the last verse, Krishna say, that Krishna is yours, Tomara. Krishna say, Tomara. Krishna dite paro. Just like Mahaprabhu, he can give Krishna prema. So here, Krishna dite paro. So paro is able and dite is to give. Krishna dite paro. Tomara Shakati. Everyone knows what Shakti, power. Tomara Shakati Arche. Arche is. Ami to Kangala. Krishna, Krishna Boli. Dhai Tava Parche Parche. Krishna say Tomara. Krishna dite paro. Tomara Shakati Arche. Ami to Kangala. Krishna Krishna Boli. Dhai Tava Pache Pache. Dhai Tava Pache Pache. Okay, so now every day when you sing this, you try to, I'm telling myself also, let us all try to sing with heart and actually have it as a prayer to the Vaishnavas and not just to sing it, to finish to sing. Okay, going to sing, oh, Vaishnava Thakur Rasakara, and not know what we're singing. It is good when we don't know. But some of these songs and some of the prayers that we chant, really, all of them we should try to feel, but especially these songs that we sing every day, which are very standard. Many of them, they flow off our tongue. We can sing them, but we have to keep coming back to remind ourselves what we're singing. And while we're singing it, it is very good for us. So good, better, best. Hare Krishna. Okay, and please do, well, you can take screenshots, I suppose, but you can download the file. And this file, it's come from, oh my goodness, there's a big thing. Oh, I see, Praneshri is put in from Upadeshamritam. The quote. But the file, you'll see, please, you can download the file from the chat box here. I already put it here, but its origin is from kksongs.org. And there they have actually quite a lot of songs, word for word. And it is helpful. If you find it helpful, helpful. I'm sharing things which myself and certainly others have found helpful. Okay. This is what I wanted to share. And thank you. We've got in the chat box, long part, but this is from Upadeshamritam, which also you all already have. And
at the end of the song, yes, in the songbook.
Yeah.
It's the explanation that he was mentioning, Paramananda Prabhu was mentioning.
I was asking, yeah.
Maharaj, Chinmoy Dev have a question. Oh, there he is.
Yes. What about the part that it's at the end that's in parentheses? Like, where does that come from?
It is not a fixed matter. The part that's at the end, I forget what Gurudev called it. Did he call it alanka? I'm not sure. But it's very flexible. And here in our songbook, or in this songbook, it's got these. I'll have to put my specs on to see. It's got these, but it is not fixed. And when we're in Navadip, okay, so here's Ami, Dhai, Tava, Pache, Pache, Krishna Dana, Pabarase, Dhai, Tava, Pache, Pache, Tumi Dileo Dite Pare, Krishna Tomara Hridoye Dhan, Tumi Dileo Dite Paro. Krishna Deva Shaktidara. Anyhow, these are, when we're in Navadip, you'll hear not only the end of O He Vaishnava Thakur, but after many songs, and even sometimes in the middle of a song, the Bengalis break out into something. What are they singing? It's not in my songbook. It's because they know what they're singing, and so they're putting some like decoration to the song while going through it or at the end of the song. And so this is one of those examples. And so I didn't do my homework for Paba Rashe. I'm not a Bengali. I mean, really, I have to refer to the Bengali research, and maybe you can find it now. Tumi Dilio Dite Paro. It's you are able to give it, but I don't know. I can't say without doing a little bit of homework to say exactly what these mean. Sorry. And I must say, we don't always sing these, and we don't, in the mat, they don't always sing them. They sing other things, also different things. And we remember our time, especially with Madhu Mangal Prabhu. He would come out with all sorts of things. You have to be Bengali to know what they're saying. That's the living thing about the bhajans also. It's not putting on an LP and putting it on the table. And then sometimes there's a crack in the LP, so it keeps playing the same part again and again. It's not like that. Oh, you don't know what an LP is? Yes, all of you know what an LP is, except Seva Rupa. She's too young to know. Hare Krishna. Right, we can't use that expression anymore, can we? Oh, sounds like a broken record. That was an expression before for if somebody just repeating the same thing again and again. Oh, he sounds like a broken record. And what's a broken record, Mummy?
What's that?
Oh, we're going to have to, the world's going to have to come up with new expressions.
Adhusudan Maharaj, do you have Prapanda Jivanamritam next to you?
I've got the audio right next to me. I do, yes. What would you like me to find?
Can you read 3:18? It's a good concluding verse for the meeting, actually.
Prapanda Jivanamritam.
You can elaborate on it too.
3:18. Let me see if I can quickly come to 3:18. I've got 18 here, but am I in chapter 3? This is the question. Chapter 3, okay, chapter 3, verse number 18. Now we're all holding our breath in anticipation of what is this verse. Perhaps you should read it while I'm coming. Oh, I've got it here. Oh, okay. So the introduction to this verse by Guru Maharaj is the aspiration to attain to the perfection of becoming an associate servitor of the Lord. Okay, the aspiration to attain the perfection of becoming an associate servitor of the Lord. And then the verse is by Sri Jamunacharya. Oh, my Lord, please lead me into the glance of those great devotees who, in their heart's aspiration to only once behold your divine form, consider sense enjoyment and liberation to be like straw, and whose separation is unbearable for even you. Sakritvad alka, sorry, let me make it a bit big. Okay, I've got it a bit bigger on my screen now so I can see it better. Sakritvad akara vilokana shaya trini kritan nuttama bhukti mukti bihi mahatma bhir mam avalokyatangnaya kshane piteyad virahoti dushaha. O my Lord, please lead me into the glance of those great devotees who in their heart's aspiration to only once behold your divine form, consider sense enjoyment and liberation to be like straw, and whose separation is unbearable for even you. Hare Krishna. Now, I can just say one thing on reading the verse. You see, there is a difference between Sanskrit and Bengali. They are both very expressive, but if I was to be given just that verse, honestly, I wouldn't be able to give much of a clue. But the Bengali verses that we sing, generally, we do know the words. We need help maybe in making the translation. We always have to rely on the translation, not on ourselves. But then, as we've just gone through word by word of O Hey Vaishnava Thakur, then you see the words, they're familiar. And then when we have them in the poetry form and we have the translation, then we are able to feel it as we say it. Those of you who have very good brains, then the Sanskrit, but please always keep the translation at hand. The Sanskrit is there, but it is different, put it that way. And we're told that Mahaprabhu, he appeared in Bengal where the language is simple. Simple, but expressive. So that's for our
grace, Maharaj. Of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Remember, it's primarily the Bengali devotees, they asked Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to compose Chaitanya Charitamrita. And since there are so many Sanskrit verses, actually he extracted all the important verses that all that we need is in there, we know that. But what he does, he quotes the Sanskrit. And then the next verse will be the Bengali verse, a translation of Sanskrit, an explanation, but in Bengali. So he gave it to a more simple, not the pundit section, not a very learned, we can say, section, but simple-hearted Vaishnavas whose hearts are all flooded with love. But what can you do? They don't know Sanskrit. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he translates it into a common language, which was a Bengali language for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And since we're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita daily, like you, I mean, you're a different case. You spend years in Bengal. So you can actually have a conversation with a Bengali person. But anyone who reads Chaitanya Charitamrita, those words, they're appearing again and again. So we're becoming more familiar with Bengali than the Sanskrit.
And Guru Maharaj, Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada gave us not just the Sanskrit and not just the Bengali, but for us very simple persons all over the world, he gave in English, which is essentially the international language, at least for India at that time. And still we see wherever you go in the world, they'll have Chinese and English, Russian and English, Spanish and English. Somehow it's become like that. But they gave in practical way that message of Sanskrit and of Bengali. Wonderful things. And by the way, on Facebook, then We have from Maladhari Devidasi, she's sending her appreciation and her obeisances and appreciation for the back to basics. It's a lifeline for me. My pranams to all the Vaishnavas, she says. Hare Krishna. And our pranams to you. I can speak for everybody here, no doubt. And Jagamohini Devidasi is sending her obeisances and peacocks and hands, and Jim Seymour. Krishna so munificent, so merciful, so kind, so generous, so unconditionally loving. If I take but one step towards Krishna, he takes 100 steps towards me. He's one without a second. Jai. He is one without a second. No one is greater than or equal to him. He knows everything that is going on everywhere. And this may be a quote from Srila Prabhupada, or it may be your own expression giving a similar mood. Jai. Okay, dear devotees, Kum Diri, we didn't even give you an opportunity for a squeak this week. No squeak this week. Jivana Diri, we didn't give you, in fact, to each of you, we didn't give an opportunity for a squeak this week. And we even didn't give an opportunity for Divya Shakti Devidasi to sing for us, sing for the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Maybe not today. I don't know if anybody knows how to actually, rather somebody sending obeisances here too, Dandavat. If anybody knows how actually to have a non-lag kirtan over Zoom, do let us know, because we have tried and it's been a bit of a disaster. Well, not a disaster. The attempt is everything. But musically, I don't think it will go down so well with the Gandharvas and others.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Only one person can sing at a time.
It is like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the sound is not good. Maharaj, you have Dandavats from Nityananda Prabhu in Mexico and from Mahayogi Prabhu also.
Oh, very good. And Mahayogi Prabhu, presumably you're watching somewhere. I have no record. I can't see because some mysterious things. But please know, I've heard every word of every one of your Gita talks, and of course, very happy to hear each word of your Gita talks and your expressions, your examples, your living, amusing, and instructional classes. So we're very happy for that. Okay, dear devotees, the clock has tick-tocked. The clock has tocked. No, you see, we don't think we'll even manage poetry in our own language, what to speak of any other language. Dear devotees, please do keep a copy of this word by word and share with us, if we all try together around the world, maybe our collective attempt to catch every word for when we sing, or sink in even more. And then in a few days' time, maybe Kumkum and Jivana, and you may have some particular points that you may like to bring up. I just wonder if it's a day on the calendar. Anyhow, I don't want to speak so much next time. So definitely all of you be prepared to come with some contribution or a question, and we'll continue happily in our back to basics. And Krishna Lalana Devidas in Australia, no latency, she's written, Dandapat Maharaj. Oh, Gaura Hari here, so he's using someone else's internet. Okay, Gaura Hari Prabhu. No latency kirtan is technically possible. Tech has made for musicians, but requires special hardware and a corporate university internet connection. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you, Gaura Hari Prabhu. And maybe, let's see, because Now in the modern world, we have equipment which would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the 1980s. And we know just for typesetting, only for typesetting, in London, Sagar Maharaj and Daira Gauranga Prabhu, they bought a machine that cost then £30,000 plus the interest. The total cost for the thing after all the time was like £40,000 only for typesetting. It's called Linotronic machine. Now our computers, even a cheap computer, can do typesetting, video editing, audio editing, broadcasting and everything. So you can think we take these things for granted, but their value is huge. So we may find that even on our laptops and phones, we've got university grade internet connection. I do not know.
Actually, in the chapter 5th of the 3rd volume of the Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Guru Maharaj speaks on that subject about how in the past yogis and devotees, he specifically mentioned, used the mental power, a special psycho power, to travel and meet with each other, being separated by the long distances. So actually it's all this. And for prasadam, we just need to develop a practicity. So we can be sitting anywhere, but we can reach out and, you know, accept prasadam from a different place, Maharaj. So it's all possible. And Krishna, he is the source of all the siddhis. So the necessity is dire, then Krishna will supply, no doubt about it. Yoga kshemam vahamaham. So if really we're dying to do that, I'm pretty sure it's going to come through one day.
All right. And interestingly, I found out, we were doing some talking about this, that, and the other. The mobile phone I have here, which is not, it's not an expensive mobile phone, its processor is faster than inside the computer. So then we look and see how things have changed. Okay, dear devotees, with our thousands of dollars worth of, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, right, standing in your hand, because you can do typesetting on your phone now too, if you can manage the small screen, then let us try to utilize all this in the service of Mahaprabhu, in the service of the Vaishnavas and of Guru, and let's make our life successful. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees on Facebook, on Zoom, and who will be seeing us also presently, because I know many of you do, to all of you, then our appreciation and obeisances and big jais to our wonderful masters, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, and Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, and Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai, and Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. Unlimited Vaishnavas around the world Ki Jai, and our present Vaishnavas here with us Ki Jai, and headed by Shri Kumkum Devi Dasi, Paramananda Prabhu, Jivana Devi Dasi, and each of you one by one, you're all very important. Bhagavan Prabhu, and we have Jagamohini, Devi Dasi, Maladhari, Devi Dasi, and other senior devotees with us online too, and to all others. To all of the devotees, all appreciated. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And Jai
Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. And Jai Shri Shri Nitai Chaitanya Dev in Puri Ki Jai. Let us transfer ourselves empowered by Paramananda Prabhu, and reach out our hand and see if we can receive some prasadam from their festival today. So Shri Shri Nitai Chaitanya Dev Ki Jai, Shri Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ji Ki Jai, Shri Purushottam Dham Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Dandavat, dear devotees.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank
But I leave you together. I'm happy if you're together, but I continue just now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.